Hey y'all, here we are. Kind of Queen Fierce made me feel like getting it popping, y'all. Getting it popping. About to tag in our guests. All right. Hello, hello. Hey, Roxanne. Glad we got our 4 people.
Hey, boo.
Hey. You looking good. You sideways.
I'm good.
Oh,
I'm good. I'm good.
let me
How we
see.
making out? How's your afternoon going?
That's good. That's good. Queen Fierce helped me bump up my stuff too. I just,
Listen. I was looking at her. I was like, I guess I need to upgrade myself because, honey, I was sure gonna come through in these streets, bald faced, okay, with a headscarf on and call a thing a thing. I surely was. I was okay. Because
mm-hmm.
that was how I was feeling. But I was like, if the queen can come over here and she can put it together a little bit, I guess I can do a little something too.
Go ahead. I love that hair. I think that's one of my favorites. I like that one. I like that one.
Thank you. Yes, I love the big red hair. I figured I'd do something a little different with it and let it just instead of just letting it just hang. So I put a
Okay.
hair.
Roxy said you look amazing. Roxy said you look amazing.
Thank you, Roxanne. I love her. I love Roxanne. She's so fabulous.
Yes, he
Yeah.
is. Yes, he is. She's coming through on here too. Yeah. Nat, you sideways. Is there any way you can tilt it?
Yes, it was on purpose so I can keep the phone upward.
Oh,
But let me see if I can do that like this.
okay.
There it go.
There we go.
This
Oh, look at the eyes. The eyes are pink. The eyes look nice. The eyes look nice.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, girl, I did. I put some eyebrows on. I haven't had
Mhm.
eyebrows on and I don't know how long. I was like, okay, we ain't gonna be bald
Mhm.
faced today. We gonna put a little something
Yes,
together.
yes,
But
yes. Oh, Roxy said
yeah,
thank you too. Roxy said thank you, and Susan's joined us again too. Um,
yes. Well,
yeah. Got to check out her page or Susan's page. But yeah, welcome back, Nels. Welcome back. For
thank
those of you,
you. Thank
you're
you.
welcome. You're welcome. For those who may not have seen it, Nettles has thankfully been on our show before. I really like this lipstick. And she thankfully agreed to come back. So yes, Nettles, please. I'm leaning for my glasses just in case I decide to use them. It's funny, but I do
Listen, I got mine in proximity too, okay? Just in case, okay? I understand, baby. I understand.
yes, yes. Look, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna make enough money to get that LASIK, and then when I get old enough, I'm gonna do the glass hide and seek. Where you place glasses around to find them later. That fun pair. I was thinking of a Sinbad Sinbad thing where he said that's what you guys do to help each other look for glasses. But if you live with one of your partners or your partner, just like they're over here. I had to do that. I had to do that myself. Hey, folk who are coming. Hey, folk. Hey, folk. Nettles, thank you definitely for letting the reading glasses hide and seek. Yes, it is what goes on here. But
Yes.
Nettles, go ahead. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself to the audience.
All right. Well, I am Nettles Light. I
Mm-hmm.
am a community mother. I'm
Mm-hmm.
an ordained minister. I am a
Mm-hmm.
writer. I am an educator. And just, an all around Black woman extraordinaire.
Yes,
So,
yes, he is. Yes, he is. Um, all right. You definitely listed incredible things that definitely take a lot of artistic flair. Can you tell the people when did you meet art, or when do you remember meeting art?
um, I think that art came to me as a child because, um, as Black folks, we are a creative people,
Mm-hmm.
and my grandmother is a cook, and and that's her form of art. And my mother can sing and she cooks, and we love music, and I think music is definitely something that I'm drawn to. Like that was kind of like an introductory kind of space for
Mm-hmm.
me to the arts was, my grandmother's cooking, my mother's singing, and just, being exposed to good music. So
And being exposed to, okay, no, that sounds really good. What was your what was or is your grandmother's favorite dish?
my grandmother will cook anything. She really enjoys her favorite thing to eat. She really loves seafood. She
Mm.
is always game for some seafood. Uh,
Mm.
and yeah, yep. You get that woman some Alaskan snow crab legs and some
Ooh.
shrimp,
Mm.
and she is a happy camper. Okay.
I feel
So,
that.
oh, and a proper crab cake with more
Ooh.
than just filling.
Mm.
Okay, but
It
but
started
yeah,
pulling on the
one.
inside. Yes. Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
yo, I
that's
had a vegan, and hello at everybody who joined us and is rocking with us. Thank you for coming through, um, to the interview live, for the artist live. But yeah, I got like two sources of light now. I got my laptop and I got the sun. Bam, look at that. Bam, work. Mm. Find the angles. Find the angles. Boom. I love sick matches your hair. It's so cool. Um, but yeah, oh, someone said I need to cook a crab pot soon. Where do you live again? I can be 6 feet away. Just throw the bag. Throw the bag of trash. Thank you. I once said I would marry for food, and I'm not sure exactly that's true. That's true.
Look, okay, I've also made those. I've proposed to several people because the food was good. Okay, I ain't gonna tell no
Mm-hmm.
stories. I surely have. I done proposed. I'm like, look here,
Mm-hmm.
go on, marry me so I can get this good eating.
Yo, one time I was at Maggiano's for my birthday with my family, and this guy came out. He was, brother, people, but focusing on the brothers, but like of every weight class, and brother was thick. And I think he may have been the head chef. He had a third in his name. His family might have been doing well for some time. We'll see, or at least was connected. Um, and he brought me out this nice little cookie plate with some sparklers. Tried to call him. Didn't work out, but I'm a find you. No, not like that. That's creepy. Unconsensual. If you're looking for me, I'm looking for you after this quarantine. I'll be through. Just show me your test
Mhm.
clear for that, and we're good. We can go get our vaccination together. Let me stop. Listen,
You
there's
is too
some
funny.
there's but I'm wait, say that one more time. I realize I missed it.
Oh, I said you too funny.
Thank you, thank you. No, yo, people have been going on Zates. You like get it together, show your paperwork. You got your little plasma vaccination. Get it popping. Just saying. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, no, it's good to know that you met art through food, and it's funny, but I think we don't think about that a lot. Like, my dad has that too. Like, he'll just throw stuff together and it will taste delicious. Like stuff you thought never would go together. Like he just is able to like really paint with it, and he'll make it pretty too, like on a plate. So I think it's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. No, food is definitely a form of
Mhm.
art.
Oh
Food is
yeah.
definitely a form of art, and it's a love
Mhm.
language. And it's the
Yes.
love language of the people that I come from. They be like, "Come on, baby, come on,
Mhm.
get you this plate." So,
Mm. Yes, I love it. And oh, go ahead and have seconds. That's that real love, and I miss it so much. Ah, but I'm trying to kind of balance that out health wise. But no, second plates are love. Hell, fourth plate to love. I miss my aunt. I was like, this is some good. What is it? What were we eating? It wasn't dumpling. Might have been dumplings and biscuits. Cause my great grandmother knew how to do that. I'm learning different things. Like I'm possibly gonna yes, yes.
All right. I
Education.
think we are off topic. I think we
Mm-hmm.
done got too invested in the food, honey. We hungry over here. Let's.
No, no, but I'm feeling this moment. I'm feeling. Let me have my moment. I love this. But I'm actually cartwheeling back to something.
Yes.
Basically, like what I was saying, like a lot of the artists have mentioned, like definitely doing drawing, at least like the last two. Um, and it's interesting that also we're hearing about like food as an introduction. Um, what is, as an artist, what is your favorite thing to cook?
I mean, it's really whatever I'm in the mood for. Or if somebody called me and asked me to make them something. I don't really get too many of those phone calls in New Orleans. So not too many people be hitting me up to ask me to make nothing. But when I'm in Philly, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm good to get a text or a phone call from somebody to ask me to make them some macaroni and cheese or some fried chicken or something. But yeah, I mean, it's really whatever's kind of on my heart to cook, if I get a taste for something and I know it ain't gonna be no good unless I make it myself. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, but I mean, I'm no slouch in the kitchen, You can ask
Mm-hmm.
the queerdos of West Philly, because I usually host a Friendsgiving in
Oh,
the
okay.
holiday season, and I will throw together a show enough full on Thanksgiving meal, turkey and all. So
Mm,
yeah.
sounds delicious. I know we were supposed to talk about poetry, but this is shining. But I know you made macaroni and cheese. I'm gonna try to keep that in mind. Um, so it's funny. This actually kind of definitely still ties in to the next question and almost answers it. When we do different arts, like I know you're this incredibly dope poet because we've been going over some of the things that you're doing for like some,
Yes, and I need you to help
really.
me work through a couple more
Okay,
poems too. I'm gonna send them to you in a half a minute.
okay. You definitely can do that. But Nettles has some, y'all. You have to hear it. Nettles has some incredibly fiery poems just about life and about the Black Revolution that we are in the midst of experiencing. Do you feel that because art is such a vehicle, that art is ever meant to be perceived outside the self? And if so, in
Absolutely.
what way?
Absolutely. I think that art should absolutely be perceived outside the self, because the artist's work, I forget who said it, but the artist's job is to reflect the times.
Mm,
And so, because the artist's job is to reflect the times, it is imperative to express it outside yourself. Now, because there are some of us who are called to do this work and to share it publicly,
mm-hmm,
and I know that sometimes that can be very difficult to do because the art is so personal and it's so intimate. But
mm-hmm,
um we gotta like release it and let it in, and be willing to open up and share with the people, like,
mm-hmm,
and be willing to be present in all ways, in all spaces, you know what I'm saying? Because
mm-hmm,
the revolution requires certain amounts of vulnerability, you know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? And if your
Ooh,
work
say that
is
again.
a
That
part
was
of that,
mm-hmm,
the revolution requires you to have certain kinds of vulnerability. It requires you to be vulnerable in a certain way, because the
mm-hmm.
political is definitely personal. Some of
Ooh,
us cannot separate our experience from what's
mm-hmm,
going on. I am Black and queer and a woman,
mm-hmm.
at all times. So somebody always got my name in their mouth. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm,
They like, oh, well, those Black people, or those queer people, or them
mm-hmm,
women folk, them Black women folk. You know what I'm saying? So I
mm-hmm.
do not have the luxury of
Ooh,
tuning out
mm-hmm.
of what's going on. So I
Yeah,
have to be present in all things, because the political is personal, and especially for me as a Black
yeah.
queer woman.
Yes, yes. No, I definitely feel you, and definitely on all of those three. Yes, yes. Happy Pride, by the way. Um, but yeah, no, I like that you said art is always meant to be perceived outside the self, showing the inner meat or the vulnerability, so that things definitely end up moving forward. And I love that. Yeah. Nettles, work that down. I'm gonna write it down and just put your name beside it. That might be a shirt. Um, yes, yes, yes. And this is a very. These are quite dangerous and interesting times. And I was saying on the other interview, whenever you get a world ending something, you're really looking at a new beginning or a birth of sorts. Speaking of
Hmm.
which, I know that you are pregnant with a little person. Do you want to say her
Yeah.
name on live or no?
I mean, I am 8 months in. We almost at the finish line. God
Mm.
bless America. uh, and there a lot of people, they like, how you having a girl? I'm like, honey, listen, let me tell you something. I done made this child I have made from scratch. I can feel the
Mhm.
present energy and this fiery, fierce femme energy that is coming through. Okay. I don't need the same way. When you sick and your stomach is turning, you don't need nobody else to tell you that you sick. You just know, okay?
Mhm.
So I know that
Mhm.
I am having me a fierce, fiery little girl, and I will be naming her Maya Janae. So yes.
I'm so
Um,
happy. Gonna cry out live again. It's you just gotta cry out loud. It's that week
Oh,
too.
listen, the tears are a thing that are cleansing. It helps move the energy. Like, don't
Mhm.
let nobody tell you no stories about tears being
Mhm.
weak. Ain't nothing weak about
Yeah.
crying. Like, that's how
Ooh.
you get that stuff out of you. You got to get it off of you. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
cry if you need to.
Mhm.
Cry while you're getting shit done. That's what you do.
Mhm. Or cry while
So
you shit. It was there.
I mean,
I had to
listen,
drop it.
if that's how you feel, honey, if that's how you feel, do whatever you need to do, okay?
You know what?
Yeah.
Sometimes, like in my head, I get
Oh,
these movie scenes that like definitely need to happen. Like I'm in developing the animation, Teddy Ninja animation that I'm developing that is very much
yeah.
being changed, has definitely had a major change because of the times that we're living in, and definitely made me have
Mm-hmm.
even a slight paradigm shift as to who Teddy is going to maybe turn these folk over to, and just he going to do some killing. He does some killing in the story, but it's going to be earned and then kind of
Mm-hmm.
addressed too. It's going to be interesting, but yeah, like just yeah, no, he definitely has a crying moment too, like a super vulnerable moment, like especially in the pilot that I
Yeah.
wanted to be like step on a baby toe pain, because like pain is one, it's real, and
Oh,
two,
yeah, everybody.
yeah, it moves things. But I just oh right, but I know within his arc that like I just want some moments. Like a scene came to me
Mm-hmm.
where like he's caught in the middle of the fart wars, and like literally it's two
The
people,
fart
or
was, oh my
yeah,
stuff.
like are just farting. Like just gas is terrible sometimes. Like
Rory-isms. This is, I know Queen Fierce calls them Rory stories. These
I
is
like that.
Rory-isms.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I like that too. I like that too. But yeah, I definitely want a
Yeah.
scene like has a fart wars where he's like running down his gauntlet. But like just certain scenes, just but I have to see if it fits, and I'm really learning. I'm in LA now. One of the things I'm definitely learning
Yeah.
is just the nature of how you weave something in. But I'm gonna find a way to put
Yeah.
that in. But what I learned, see, is that I can have that, and it could be hilarious
Uh-huh.
because I heard these two artists say like, yes, the funny and the tragic are gonna run together. You know.
They are going to run together.
Mm-hmm,
And what I
mm-hmm,
want to do is remind you that we have a certain amount of time on this here live, so we need to bring it back. Gonna bring it back. Like, I love these chats that we
mm-hmm,
have, but you
mm-hmm.
interviewing me, and they only give us this much time. So let's refocus.
Okay. It's my show, girl. Would you refocus
I
me on
know
my
it's
show? There's people
show.
watching.
I'm trying.
I can't.
Listen. I'm trying to get through the questions, okay?
Okay, all right,
Because
but
you're
no,
going
but
to get to the last 5 minutes and
it's
be like, oh my God, I still got 10 questions I didn't ask you.
listen. Those
Oh,
questions weren't supposed to be asked. All right, we just go with the flow. I appreciate you trying to help. We're gonna enjoy my flow. Just saying. But you have a point. You have a point. You have a point. Okay. Let me see. So we were on Miss Maya Janae, whose name I love. And like just that's like really been a bright light. I'm glad you told us how many months you are. Do you see motherhood as an art, both the bio child that you will, be introduced in the world and you made from scratch, and also just community motherhood in general as well too.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mothering is definitely an art. You
Yeah.
you have to be so
Mm-hmm.
many things at the same time. You
Mm-hmm.
know, when you mother, that is an artistry. Um, and like if you just
Mm-hmm.
you had a front row seat to watching your mother do what she did. If you
Mm-hmm.
think about it, if you think about all the things I know,
Mm-hmm.
I can't even tell you how many times I sat there and I was like, wait a minute. Well, how did you
Mm-hmm.
do that, Mom? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And she was like, well, baby, I just did it. You know what I'm saying? And so
Mm-hmm.
it just kind of the magic of it, of like mothering
Yeah.
is the two
Mm-hmm.
things that I equate with mothering
Mm-hmm.
is patience and sacrifice. Well, three things actually, and unconditional love.
Yeah.
Um, and so, because you have to be patient with the
Mm-hmm.
children. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because you're having to teach them and help them grow and learn into this new kind of time and frame and space. You
Yeah.
getting,
Understand.
they have no frame of reference. I mean, of course they have
Mm-hmm.
generational and ancestral knowledge, but you have
Right.
to help them tap into that space.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so like that's there's a patience that comes with that. Like they don't know what we know, and so it's our job to teach them those things. So that requires a patience, and there is a
Yeah.
certain amount of sacrifice. There will be things that you have to give up or not be
Mm-hmm.
able to participate or not be able to do because you have to be here for this child. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? And unconditional love. You know what I'm saying? I love you because I love you, and you ain't have to do nothing but be here so that I do
Mm-hmm.
love you.
Yeah.
And and the ways in which mothers show
Mm-hmm.
up. Oh, honey, the ways in which mothers show up. How it is a powerful thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know and their presence is known, and and for some of us, I know as a grown ass woman about to have my own baby, there is still some stuff that I am not allowed to do, or my mother will appear out of thin air and snatch my soul. Okay. So you know so we like, I'm just saying, like you can't tell me that ain't no art. I'm just saying, like, there's just still some stuff that you just know, like, hey, I don't want no smoke with my mama. I ain't got time for that one right there. So
All right. Mama done told me to go on home now, so that's what I'm gonna do.
okay,
Um,
I'm like,
I,
I don't know how she would know, but she would know, and we would have a problem. So I'm good. I'm good on that, fam.
no, I feel you. Like, Raven Simone had said one time, there's certain things, even as a grown behind woman, she wouldn't do. Her parents would drag her back to Georgia, and I feel that.
Hmm.
I definitely feel that a lot. Yeah, no, I realize there's certain things, and it's weird. Like as an adult, and definitely somebody who's blessed enough to definitely have healthy aspects and like that strong relationship with mom still in life. It's funny you mentioned about mom disappearing. I think because I remembered one part, a little trigger warning for, broken glass but like one time I watched Pee Wee Herman's thing and I was scared and like it was a thing that moved around. I thought it was going to kill me. I always thought something was going to come out of TV and kill me. I don't know why. I blame Beetlejuice. Anyway, yes, I said his name. He's not as scary as the other one. All right. He's at least funny. He has a sense of humor, unlike the other. But the other person whose name I'm not mentioning because I'm in front of a mirror, like I don't think he'd be after me. But then again, no, no. See, I'm not, whiter, well, not after me, but I'm still not saying his name. But point being, like, I kind of screamed because I was scared. I forgot, I was somewhere between 7 and 11, and like she just came through the window, like I mean, whole glass window. Like my dog thankfully went to go get her. It was a family thing, but she just like honestly like kind of came through, and like thankfully she got stitched up and everything with her hands, but she said I didn't even like. I asked her one time. She's like I didn't even think about it. I just came through, and it's like you're right. It's memories like that. You're like, bro, how? But she's like you said, the artful balance of basic miracles of like patience and sacrifice and just love. And like I like how you define that as part of the art with that. um with the other interview with Queen Fierce that I was doing, um we talked about the nature of genetic arts. Like she said, she found out her mother, was a visual artist, and like that's how she started out. With Miss Maya Janae, do you want her to take after you in her arts, or what do you hope for her art life or her ancestor gifts?
Um, I mean, really, whatever comes
Mm-hmm.
through,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to embrace those things, whatever comes through.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a like, oh, I want her to be like me in this way, or
Mm-hmm.
I want her to be like, her father in this way. Like be you. The one thing that I am clear on is that this child is fiery. So we're gonna have to find a way, like we're gonna channel that energy. That's
Yeah.
what I know. We gonna
Mm-hmm.
get into some programs and we're gonna channel that
Yeah.
energy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that this is a little firecracker that I've got growing inside of me. So we're gonna find ways to channel that
Mm-hmm.
energy. You know what I'm saying? And whatever comes through is
Mm-hmm.
what comes through, because what the ancestors have for her
Mm-hmm.
are more than I could dream of.
Yeah.
Um yeah, that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Well, that's no, I like that, and I love that you are planning for her to be able to be herself. And I realize, like, for my possible future little person people, I'm like leaning towards two. I'm like trying to lean away. That's exactly what I want to do. I like what you're saying. I like what I've heard the Pinkett Smith say, that they just kind of let the kid be them to do the path that they're here to do. And I realize that's honestly what I want the most. Um, it's I forgot. I think it's still Mental Health Month, but definitely that's something I'm trying to work on now. I know my behind is
Hmm.
very, very, very sensitive person, and I found out it's
Yeah.
genetic, so I'm starting to feel really good about that. And I'm low key worried about passing that down because I know how painful it could be at points. I also know that but it's funny, I'm aware of mine. So, like you said, the kid
Hmm.
doesn't come with a frame of reference. So I want to be like an avatar, or like able to bend whatever element hits. You know, and just kind of
Yes.
let them be them. I love that wish that you have for your daughter, and just letting her be her. Um,
Hmm.
and I like how you brought up like the ancestors. Um, but do you feel that before we kind of hit the spiritual, actually are on our way to there? Do you feel that being human, we're talking about just letting our kids just be them, like like you said, as long as we aren't running down the road of serial killer, but even then, you just got to be aware where you might need to stash something. Just saying, like you made them. Like nobody pops up as a serial killer. That's created. So like if they are, then you gotta look at a few things that may have gone sideways or a lot. Like, well, you know what? We just no look, watch that. I know you're six, but we already here. We're gonna watch some. I'm not really gonna watch some Dexter. Yeah, then they'll see. God gave everything a purpose. Remember? Mm-hmm. We don't
Rory.
want you to go to jail. Listen, you got to have a plan, Nettles. All right, you got to have a plan.
Listen, listen,
But
listen. I'm not raising those serial killers, and I know that we've gone into a Roryism.
yes, yes, we
Let's
have. And I'm proud. I'm proud. I'm proud. But no, girl,
Yeah.
I know you're not raising a serial killer. But my point is like, just look. I got a plan. I'm concerned and I plan. That's what I do.
Hmm.
Um, I
Hmm.
don't intend to be doing that either because I realize dope thing. I realize what creates one. So yeah, not doing those things. But yeah, yeah. How much of being human, when we talk about letting the kids be, how much of being human is an art?
Oh, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
every part of being human is an art. I like just
Mm-hmm.
um who
Mm-hmm.
is it? Tank and the Bangles, they have
Mm-hmm.
on their very first album this song about like all of the things that make up a person and just like how when you're born with nearly 300 bones, and by the time you get to be
Mm-hmm.
an adult, you have 207. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just, in the ways in which your body just knows how to do what it does. Like, you don't have
Mm-hmm.
to actively think about breathing, but you breathe, though. You don't have to actively tell your heart to beat, but
Mm-hmm.
it does. You know what I'm saying? And there are certain things that
Mm-hmm.
are constantly triggering and moving and happening within your body that you are unaware of. Like that is an art. You
Mm-hmm.
hurt yourself and your body goes into the business of healing itself.
Mm-hmm.
And as I am preparing myself to
Mm-hmm.
breastfeed, like breast
Mm-hmm.
milk,
Mm-hmm.
my God, like it's magic. It really is. So basically, what happens, one, the milk
Mm-hmm.
changes as the baby develops. So
Ooh.
the
Mm-hmm.
baby's milk at the beginning is different than baby's milk at 6 months, at 8 months, at a year
Mm-hmm.
old. And
Mm-hmm.
then also, if the baby has a little little sniffle, like the breast can detect that it's, sick and will put extra antibodies to make sure
Mm-hmm.
that the baby gets better. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like these kinds of things
Mm-hmm.
that the body naturally does. Like, I don't have to be like, okay, so the baby is sick, so I need to do this to make my milk do whatever. Like, no, the human body knows what to do. And so that in and of itself is an art form. And in the ways in which we walk, the ways we talk, like
Mm-hmm.
that's art. The way, the clapping, the beat, the rhythm, the things that we do, like all of that
Mm-hmm.
is artistic. And children will sit and they will, if they're bored, they will come up with a game, and they
Mm-hmm.
will, they will make up stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
that ain't nothing but creativity and artistic. So,
Mm-hmm.
so you just have to be aware of it, and like everything that a person
Mm-hmm.
does
Yeah.
is absolutely amazing. And
Yeah.
like we are all inspiring beings, truly, if you pay attention.
Ooh.
And because, like I told you the other day when we were talking personally,
Mm-hmm.
the God is in the ordinary.
Mm.
You
Casual but
know,
velocity. Dobby Diggs.
yeah, God is in the ordinary. It ain't always in order for you to experience the extraordinary, you have to be able to appreciate the ordinary.
Mm.
You know
Say
what
that
I'm
again. I
saying?
like that. That sounded good. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I said in order to be able to appreciate the
Mm-hmm.
extraordinary, you have to embrace the ordinary. So, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
so it's just that sort of kind of a thing, and that kind of frame of reference that, that
Mm-hmm.
all of the things that we do, how we express ourselves, our storytelling skills,
Yeah.
and like it's just the ways we move and the things we do for attention, and the things
Mm-hmm.
we do to try not to be seen. All of that is art. All of it.
I like Zion Dula said, preach, and you got two hands up in the back row, in the back pew. Go ahead now. Go ahead now. Speaking of which, speaking of pews, churches, and or just in the wider breath, spirituality. before I go into the other one, it says that you're an ordained minister.
Yeah.
How long have you been one? I should have read your bio.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
I've been an ordained minister just under a year. Um,
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
yeah, but I was like, this is a thing I want to do. I want to see. It is a stupid easy process when you do like it takes 2 minutes to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that for me as an individual,
Mm-hmm.
I've already been a very deeply spiritual person, and
Mm-hmm.
so um when I think about um, myself and the work that I do in general, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, uh, it's bigger than, some little piece of paper. What that piece of paper allows me to do is to marry folks. And that piece of
Yes.
paper allows me
Mm-hmm.
to uh do baptisms
Cool.
and funerals. Okay, so that's basically
Beautiful.
what
Yeah.
my ordainment allows for. I
Hmm.
can marry you if you want to be married, and I will marry anybody, okay? So
Yes.
long as y'all is consenting adults, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
No llamas.
but yeah,
Don't bring your llama.
no, no, no. I will not be marrying you to animals.
Yeah.
But yeah, but yes, consenting adults,
Mm-hmm.
all of the love is necessary. So um
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what my ordainment allows for.
Girl, that's lit. Send that to me, please, because I have somebody. Actually, I have a couple somebodies. I'm kind of definitely want to be able to like marry. Um. Oh, speaking of which, a couple got married at the rally yesterday and looked good too. I was like, look at that black love, that
Oh
revolutionary black
yeah,
love.
in
That story
Philadelphia.
is that story is gonna be beautiful when they tell if and when they choose to ever have offspring. That's like some dope stuff. You know what is funny? Like definitely looking forward now to see if I still want to do this. I'm gonna be 40 in 4 years, folks. It's amazing. Um, I'm just trying to still ponder where the time went, but I think it went to like kind of like you said, the miracle of living life, and living it artistically, honestly, and just And I want to. I'm thinking of two bullet points, definitely with the ministry, and I'm gonna come back to that. But yeah, I want to like have wild, amazing adventures that I could tell my kids like, listen, guess what? I got to tell you what happened in Texas in 2021. We started Wakanda. Like, mommy, that's a movie, and now it's a city. Like, just and that's why you have a scholarship from kindergarten to college. Yes, holler at me. And so does your cousin Maya Janae. She too can do whatever she wants with it, be it, go to college after high school or like travel, backpack, and travel the world safely. She has that little button we have to like track stuff and shoots lasers at anybody bothering her. Yes, I'm that auntie. Listen, I like,
Oh,
somebody did
we,
something with one of my nibblings, non-binary, child or
uh,
sibling. And like,
yeah.
like I was like, what? Okay then, like this is what we need to do. And like so the whole
Mhm.
project up because of it. I'm like, no, the revolution will be sown. Hello, holler at me. Holler at me
All
later
right.
when you see her on the sewing machine. But with
Yeah.
the other one, like I want to have these wild adventures that A, my kid could come on, but B, that I could tell him because my parents did cool stuff, that really
Yeah.
kind of like inspires me to my revolutionary, and I realize I'm playing a different part in this one, whereas it's more
Hmm.
research doing this. I found out I could drop off some orders, so I'm gonna look at doing that. I got a car. Um,
Yes.
yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
we are on a tangent, and I think we have about 20 minutes. And
Mm-hmm.
look, I know, I listen, I love your storytelling, and we
Mm-hmm.
can sit for hours, but we only have this hour
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram because Instagram will
Yeah.
cut you off mid sentence and you know
Okay.
it.
All right, fine. Fine. You want the rest of the questions? Stop doing that. But if you want the rest of the questions, we only have a few more left. I'm keeping an eye on things. Um, Let me see. But seriously,
I
stop.
just
I'm time
just trying
managing.
to
I'm
be
looking at
focused.
the time. Um, Let me see. So we asked for that. Let me see. hmm What is the current spirituality that you practice on top of actually having that license? Yeah.
I practice Ifa, which
Mm-hmm.
is a African traditional spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, there are many deities that are mostly
Mm-hmm.
nature-based deities.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the way that I interpret it, and, it is a combination of being present with your ancestors,
Mm-hmm.
along with being present with nature and being
Mm-hmm.
present with yourself. So you have to be present with all of the things
Mm-hmm.
together in order for whatever it is that you're trying to work on to make things happen for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and so for me, um my spirituality calls for me to have altars to my
Mm-hmm.
ancestors, and I talk
Mm-hmm.
to them, and and I pray with them, and that sort of a thing, and I do my research, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm constantly looking into things and learning different things, and you know
Mm-hmm.
and getting into practical magics, you
Mm-hmm.
know uh because whatever I need, I can get my hands on. And it's just a
Mm-hmm.
matter of, again, that divine alignment between self, spirit, and the ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
So, um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that's what I practice. And Ifa and a lot of Black traditions and Black spirituality is oral tradition. So sometimes it's a little bit
Mm-hmm.
difficult to pin down the
Mm-hmm.
information.
Interesting.
But there
Mm-hmm.
are definitely resources. Folks ask questions. I always reference, I'm like, go check out a little Juju podcast,
Mm-hmm.
um, and get informed via Juju, because she is the
Mm-hmm.
truth and then some.
Okay, I definitely like that. Y'all heard what you said. If you definitely want more information, I actually have two questions within that three. One, you're an ordained minister, which is going to, I guess, if we're looking at that, I think for that certification, that's touching more on what you've let me know are the Abrahamic religions such as Judaism, Christianity, and name the third one. Don't want to mess it
Islam.
up. Thank you. Islam. Thought it was. Didn't want to mess it up. So you have that within Ifa. Can you become a priestess or a priest?
Yes, you absolutely can. But that's a different kind of that
Mm-hmm.
process
Mm-hmm.
is a process that is years in the making. You can't just go online and be
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
how do I become a
Ifa priest.
ordained minister? Like that there is certain initiations and
Mm-hmm.
processes that you have to go through in order to
Mm-hmm.
become a priestess, or a priest. um and so when you do that, like that comes along with being um in like you have to there's certain kinds of initiation processes that you go
Mm-hmm.
through within the different communities, and if you feel called to something
Mm-hmm.
within an African spirituality, or a
Mm-hmm.
black spirit, rooted a black rooted spirituality, I just recommend that you talk
Mm-hmm.
to your ancestors first and foremost,
Mm-hmm.
and ask them to guide you to where you can get a reading. You start off with a reading from somebody in that tradition,
Mm-hmm.
and that reading will help guide you to wherever it is you should be headed to next, if that's where you're supposed to be.
Okay. No, I love that. Thank you. That's super helpful. Um, within Ifa, I know you mentioned like different magics. Is the honey jar a part of that, or is that something else?
Um, well, there is definitely some cross pollination
Mm-hmm.
because what you have to consider is that as Black Americans,
Mm-hmm.
we are not just one kind of, like, we are a mixture
Amalgamation.
of blackness. We're not
Mm-hmm.
just, straight from Africa. So
Mm-hmm.
you can't, like, there will be some cross pollination. There will be a little bit of hoodoo, a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
voodoo, a little bit of, you
Mm-hmm.
know these different kinds of
Mm-hmm.
traditions that also kind of cross pollinate, because your
Mm-hmm.
ancestors aren't just straight from the continent. Some of your ancestors came
True.
from Haiti. Some of your ancestors, like, start with the Geechee Gullah people in the in the
Mm-hmm.
Carolinas. So the
Mm-hmm.
different kinds of spiritualities, like if you feel like you're trying to do some work in a jar with the honey.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, I'm like, I need money at this current time, so I got me a little bit of bank dirt honey.
Mm-hmm.
I went and picked up some bank dirt so I could work
Mm-hmm.
on putting some stuff together so I can bring more prosperous and money energies to me. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in those things, like, is across the board, there are different kinds of, like, spiritualities that go along with,
Mm-hmm.
like the different things. Like, sometimes there will be cross pollination in Black American spirituality, because
Mm-hmm.
we have, like, again, talk to your ancestors,
Mm-hmm.
and ask for guidance and clarity, and so that you can get the information before you start doing stuff. Don't just be doing, because you mess around and start doing stuff, and then you're going to
Mm-hmm.
find yourself in a world of hurt. So you have to be
Yeah.
mindful, get permission, ask questions. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, so there are certain cross pollination. There were certain people who will tell you, "Oh, you only practice Ifa in this way." I mean, because there are different sects inside of Ifa as
Mm-hmm.
well. And there are some folks who will tell you that you absolutely, it is a no, you don't do these things. But I
Mm-hmm.
just think that when, again, because we are Black American people, and
Mm-hmm.
because our lineage is so diverse,
Yeah.
in the
Mm-hmm.
different kinds of blacknesses that are within our DNA, and the different,
Mm-hmm.
so we have so many different kinds of ancestors. So
Mm-hmm. That's true.
in my book, it is absolutely 100% okay if you want to do some honey jar magic. You want to do some
Mm-hmm.
magic with the honey jar. You want to do some magic with your bay leaves. Go and get your work in. You
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
I like how you told people make sure you're doing your research and that it's not a scary thing. I think a mistake we make coming from like a Christian background myself, a mistake we make is telling people base the mistake that many many make is just saying that God is only answering the one voice when that really isn't true. There's a bunch of us, so there's going to be a bunch of ways that we end up talking. One thing I saw in the Tower of Babel is like your pain will end up being your blessing. My hair is standing up. Your pain will end up being your blessing. Like, okay, yeah, we all end up splitting up, but then those are so many different beautiful voices, and then like it's coming back. So of course we're going to do this. And I was reading something else with like how like this particular guy knocked it down this one and this particular story, and I'm like, first of all, little genocide-ish. You're kind of rolling up on somebody and saying the way that they talk to their most inner truth is wrong. And I want what I want for us is to, or just for future generations, is to not teach that. With it, are you planning
Um,
to pass down Ifa to Maya Janae, or do you want to let her, within what we were talking about, be free to like choose her own?
Oh, absolutely. I think when I was coming up, I was granted the space and opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
discover and explore
Mm-hmm.
spirituality of my own right. I mean, I definitely come from some Christian folk, so there was, like, definitely trips to church and whatever, and but, like, it wasn't a every Sunday we had church and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But like, like I was able to do my own research and to understand for myself what worked for
Mm-hmm.
me. And and the way I feel, if you believe in God, there
Mm-hmm.
is no wrong way to God. And your relationship with a higher power or higher powers, however your
Mm-hmm.
spirituality works,
Mm-hmm.
okay, is deeply
Mm-hmm.
personal. So, it doesn't have to be from, well, in the book with the Sikh people, the Sikh said that it's supposed to go like this, or the
Yeah.
Quran said it's supposed to go. However you commune with God, that's you and
Yeah.
God's business. That's
Yeah.
y'all's business. It is
Yeah.
very personal. And
Mm-hmm.
so, some people like you, it doesn't always, like me in my relationship with God, there are days and it's
Mm-hmm.
very like I'm in ritual. So it's going to be very, I'm going to be very, talking in this kind of elated kind of space. And then there are
Mm-hmm.
other days and I talk to God like I talk to you. I'll be like,
Me too.
so
Yeah.
what is even going on? Because I need
Mm-hmm.
answers, because this thing, something ain't adding up. So it
Yeah.
just depends on, like, your relationship is your relationship, and
Mm-hmm.
you how you cultivate that, and what feels good, how you're feeling like you're getting a response from the higher power. That's
Mm-hmm.
do that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Do that.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. I love that. I love that you said that, and I definitely kind of feel the same way. I figure if I am busy trying to eck out some, I want some watermelon. If I'm busy trying to eck out some space that I can feel most comfortable talking to, like, Jesus and maybe Yema Yah, maybe in the same week, if I'm feeling that pull, then I, like you said, do your research. And I realize it's funny. You definitely, gotta do your research, but just like with religion, your research is kind of probably going to fit you. Like, I realize for me, I am reading stuff, obviously, because I use it in my work as my way to pay homage. Even my hair,
Mhm.
when I'm like cosplaying it, like I told you, Flashbang is both benevolent and also a trickster. And I base that on, like, uh, Elegba, and the trickster part more so. And I like how we kind of went into that. And that's another conversation. And then Abatala, who's like known for being like more gentle within the Santeria. Um, and it's I'm doing my different research. If I can kind of give myself that space, like, I love that you said that. That's something I would definitely like to do too with my little person, Eddie Murphy. Just
Mhm.
kidding, I'm not naming my child that. um but yeah, I will actually ask you one last question. I heard another artist say, through my work I am immortal, and I think that definitely holds pay dirt. We talked about dirt, so it works. What is, in like 3 bullet points, um, what is a legacy you want to leave behind, not just for Miss Maya Janae, but for the world?
I think Maya Angelou said it best. You will not know what your legacy will be.
Ooh.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and and I think Maya Angelou put that beautifully, because you won't know what your legacy will be, because your
Mm-hmm.
legacy is truly something that ricochets when you have transitioned out of this plane.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what I would hope, my hope, is that when people, they if when people think of me, and they and the legacy that I leave behind, my hope is
Mm-hmm.
that I left behind the notion that, um, be loving,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. Just it needs to come from a place of love, and love ain't all the time, oh sweetness, let me hug you, blah blah blah. Like, sometimes it's straightforward. I got to get you together because I love you. We're gonna do some straight talk, and we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
we gonna talk. I'm gonna get you together because I love you. Because I love you, I have to tell you the truth. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
James Baldwin.
I'm not going to give it to you crazy or sideways. I got to be straightforward. I have to tell you the
Mm-hmm.
truth. I'm gonna tell it to you with love. And I would hope to pass that on to other people, if when you think about what you're getting ready to say to folks, the things you're getting ready to do, is it loving? Is it necessary? So is it neat? Like, if what I'm about to say, if it is not needed and it's not loving, then why am I about to say it? What is the purpose? So you got to so being mindful about the things that you're saying, I think is just, that I would hope to pass that on to people. You understand what I'm saying? Because I think that it's so necessary, folks. They be like, ooh, we gonna be shady, we gonna do this and that and the third. And I'm like, okay. But was that loving? Was it necessary? You understand what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna sit here and act like, I'm all the time with it. Okay. Like, it's a learning and growing process for me as well. And, because there was a time where being petty was my joy. Okay. I would be like, you know what? I am bored. And so I'm going to go, I already know I can get on this person's nerves. So I just sit there and, blow, just poking at folks because I knew that I could get on their nerves. And so but as I continue to grow and, to the woman that I am becoming, I'm like, what's the purpose? Is it really needed? Am I helping this person by being antagonistic? And then I would hope that, to be true to oneself. Like, I hope that I can convey that your authentic self is more than enough. You ain't got to be nothing else. Who you are as you are is more than enough.
Yeah.
And, and I would hope to convey that through just my lived life and the way I move in the world and, and through my art, through my poems. So, and however else people receive information from me, because, I am an educator. And so, so I ain't always spitting the poems, but just my hope is that you understand that who and whatever you are as you are more than enough. You ain't got to synthesize, compromise. You ain't got to change nothing about you, because who you are and how you are is perfect. Okay, ain't nobody else quite like you, boo. Ain't nobody else quite like you, and you wasn't supposed to fit in. But none of us were supposed to fit in.
Speak.
Okay, you're supposed to stand out. That's why you here. So because you don't look like the Kardashians and everybody else who trying to be a damn Kardashian, who is really just a broke back version of a black girl. But we gonna save that for a different day. Be you. So be whatever you are. You understand? Your body is perfect, okay? If you are a person who has a vagina, your vagina does not need to smell like flowers and roses and peaches and sunshine and rain. Your vagina is supposed to smell like vagina, okay? Be you. I'm just saying, folks they always trying to get you to, oh, well, if you get this injection and you cut this off and go on all of these crazy killer diets. Honey, listen, if you trying to be healthy, then because you want to be healthy, then be healthy. Being skinny does not mean that you healthy. Being fat don't mean that you unhealthy.
Hello, Queen Lizzo.
Okay, and I've had to have this conversation on several occasions with several different people, and especially in this time that I'm pregnant. I was like, yo, they told me that my fatness was a hindrance to my child's well-being. And I was like, I don't have gestational diabetes. You told me that this child is growing on time and proper, so how is my weight negatively affecting my child's well-being? Don't worry, I'll wait. Oh, you was being fat phobic? Got it. Bet. Boom. So But yeah, so the thing of it is that,
Mm-hmm.
embrace who you are, honey. If you felt like you want that cheeseburger, eat your cheeseburger. You want your pasta, eat your pasta, baby. Like,
No,
we have this one life.
mm,
We have this one life. So
I do.
live it how you choose it.